Phoenix is rising, and so are we. Welcome into the PHNX Rising podcast, everyone. Appreciate y'all joining us here. Oh man, we're back. We got quite the day. You know, there's a lot of games being played around this time. Lots of action, lots of thrills. People betting, people tuning in on all the scores. And then I guess you have March Madness as well. You know, it is the Open Cup
you got the
season,
Open Cup.
baby.
Yeah.
It is UEFA, the Euros, everything like that. We got everything going on. But, we'll get into that a little bit. But, I am, of course, Max Simpson. And I'm joined by Mr. Owen Evans, who, dare I say, buddy, you're riding quite the hot streak. You're feeling pretty damn good.
Oh, that's pretty good right now, yeah.
For those of you,
doing all right, yeah.
For those of you who are listening on audio, I highly recommend really looking, coming back to this on YouTube, looking at really not just Owen's attire, but I would say not just his disposition, his aura. This man is sipping on a nice 4 weeks Wow Wheat beer and just really enjoying life, aren't you?
Yeah.
I love it. I love
4
it.
peaks, 4-1. Yeah, how it goes.
Shades on, sunglasses on. It's gonna be a good pod,
It's lights here, Michael. Okay, we got lights up.
It is. It's quite
helpful. These.
It's quite sunny. Appreciate everyone here in the chat. Let's see. You got Welsh AZ asking what's going on to Owen.
Yeah, I think Wales won today, didn't
I
they?
think Wales won. I
yeah.
reckon they did. Reese catching us up with some Open Cup updates. Devin in the chat saying you're looking like a Cardiff geezer.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take me. Siley in the chat. Owen's living life. He's loving life. We're loving life because we're back here.
You know what I'm going to say here, and I think I think this will lead us in quite nicely if we talk a little bit more about Rising in general. There was one comment here, and I don't want to lose it because it's just a little bit further up on there. But there was a comment there from Goalie Man.
Don't like
Pat,
that. Don't do that.
Saying that Rising are 0-2 since you've got the tattoo, Max, and I agree with that. But see, I have a different interpretation of this to what Pat has.
Sure.
Pat says, "Is it a curse and should it be laser removed?" I think this is a curse from the gods. The gods. Because you didn't get the cartoon head that you promised would be on that tattoo, Max. If you fulfilled the bet properly, Rising would be winning games.
I like to think that you believe I have that much control over games.
I didn't say it was you. I said it's a curse. It's a curse on you, Max. And it won't be rectified until you get your tattoo head correctly tattooed on you. Well, yeah, cartoon head tattooed on you.
Well, don't think that's how it works. Devin on the chat. Today was an amazing day because that Welsh Tottenham player scored today.
He's been there long enough. He's learned the trademark tap-ins.
It
Shout
is.
out Brandon Johnson.
It's a signature move. Disagree on all the tattoo slander.
All the tattoo slander.
And of course, the show is already off the rails. But, right, there's plenty of time to talk about tattoos and how that may or may not help things. But really, Phoenix Rising, their performance in first couple weeks, we kind of phrased it in the headline of the show. I'll kind of phrase it to you, ask you right off the bat, is this match on Saturday against Oakland Roots, is it a must win?
I wouldn't say it's must win yet, but you're getting very, very close to it. Right, again, and this is the thing. I've said this now I said it after the game on Saturday. I kind of reiterated this a little bit on Tuesday. The problem you have is that it's not necessarily that the pressure deserves to be on them entirely. I feel as though the issue you have is when you play a rival, or not necessarily a rival. I know Rising fans don't like using that word rival about a certain team, but a team that they very strongly dislike. Dare I say, borderline hate.
Sure.
And you've got them at home in your fourth game of the season, and you could be going into that game winless.
Not great.
That's a lot of pressure on that game. And it's a lot of pressure if you come out of that game and still remain winless, which makes me feel as though this is an important one to get back on track, to get that confidence going. It's important in that regard, yes.
Yeah, no, it is. It's, obviously people are going to think, oh, well, how can this be a must win when we're only 2 matches in the season? Even if you kind of harken back to last season, how first 2 matches was a draw and a loss. And you're kind of, third match was another draw. So, you're coming out of the first 3 games of last season with 2 points. In theory, you win this match at home, you're up 3 points. Even, despite the 2 losses, you're technically in a better state. I think, though, it's less even about where you're sitting in the table and more so about just the momentum. I think we've seen in the past, maybe not as much for Rising, but just other teams in the league, it is really difficult to kind of come back from from abysmal start, and losing or really not getting a win in your first 3 matches really can kind of set you up in that failure. We've seen it last season even. There are ways to kind of dig yourself out of a hole, a la in Orange County and stuff like that. But it's just not good protocol to go after. It's, this isn't rocket science. This isn't trying to reinvent the wheel. But in this league, if you start off poorly, very often you're going to get punished.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And again, it's momentum. It's about the fact that when things start to get quite negative, it's hard to turn those moments around without something quite significant changing. That's just not easy. It's not easy to do in the middle of a season. And I feel from Phoenix Rising's perspective, again, if you're not getting just mentally in a position where you're winning games early, and again, knowing what's around the corner if you don't win this game against Oakland, knowing the pressure that'll be on that game, because again, you want to talk about a swell of negativity. Where does that come from? That comes from not getting a result against a certain team to the east here. We won't reference them. They come from a desolate place, and we don't want to bring the tone of this show down.
Full of hot air.
Yeah, full of hot air. Full of many things, but
I mean, it's kind of, going at Pat's, honestly, that's kind of that's essentially where we're at. Must win for points? No. Must win to try and keep any momentum from the title? Yes, that's really it. I mean, kind of going on further, momentum not only on the field, but you start bad and you hurt yourself out the gate as well. That's just it. It's a long season. We understand this is not it's not a quote unquote death wish, for Rising if they don't win this, but you don't want to go into this because there's such high. Here's the thing: in any season, if you are not getting a win in your first 3 matches, it's not great. But you kind of compound that with where the expectations are for this season and the fact that yes, you have a lot of guys returning, kind of mixed in with a new philosophy and how adjusting to all that. You can't bank on the learning curve kicking in later in the season like it did last year. That was amazing. This team rallied down the stretch. Doesn't always happen. Last year was a bit of an anomaly.
Well, who does that? Who does what Rising did? They don't. That's kind of the point. No one does that.
That's exactly it. It's like, this team has aspirations. We've heard it from players. We've heard it from coaches all throughout the offseason. It's not just to repeat as champions or to be back in the title contention. It's you want to be able to host a playoff match. And you got to do that. I mean, you want to be in that top half of the table. Really starts here earlier. It is about the momentum. I think the big thing, right, seeing, Mike in the chat and other people saying we need a striker and everything like that. I think it's just
more than that.
And I agree. I completely agree. I think what we've been seeing really on both ends of the pitch and really just kind of throughout this team as a whole is there's just a bit of, I wouldn't say disjointedness is necessarily the right word, but I think there's just a bit of, it's just a bit of people, they need a little bit of cohesion. I think there's a bit of separation, right? Where we see in the midfield, not quite turning. Dare I say Carlos Harvey's absence? We've said it multiple times already in this very young season, but his absence has been felt so significantly in these first 2 matches. I think you're just needing someone to bring it all together, and you can't just rely on individual moments and individual chances, because as we see in these first 2 matches, when you do that, very few and far between, and you may be able to get away with that over some of the lesser teams. But we even saw it against Monterey Bay, who, let's call it what it is, they're not expected to be a good team. If you only rely on individual moments and try to have players come to the forefront, it's not always going to work, and you get punished.
Yeah. I mean, again, it kind of goes back, and you mentioned parts of that with replacing Carlos Harvey, and it goes back to some of what I was speaking about with Devon on Tuesday, and we were talking about how do you replace that driving force, and the way that Danny spoke about how it has to be more than just the midfield doing that. Well, the problem is the midfield just isn't doing that. So it goes from perhaps, he was talking about a need for multiple players to do it to also help it from being, help stop it from being one-dimensional. But the problem is that by not having that presence in the midfield at all, you become quite one-dimensional, because what you end up looking for then mostly is for Lawrence White to whack one long down the flank, and try and pick out Edgardo Rito in that last game. It's kind of what he was going for. Doesn't always work. Kind of makes you quite predictable at times, and I think that's still what we saw. I mean, it wasn't great, was it? Let's be honest.
No, I mean, it's this team, right? We've seen, based on the personnel they bring in, it's always going to be guys who they're looking to use that outside. They're looking to overload within those spaces. I mean, again, we've mentioned them a couple times. Gardarito really being able to use that speed, use that power, and whether it's driving in or cutting in, that's all well and good. And it's not saying to abandon that, but you need a bit more of that cohesiveness within the midfield. I think so often, again, this kind of goes down to when you play that kind of game where you're just going down the end line, unless you got pace to burn, which he does, it's going to put you in a position where you're just trying to win a ton of one-on-one matchups. And that's just not always a winning strategy, because it just puts you in a very perilous position. It comes down to a numbers game. If you're able to work more of the center of the midfield, opens up a whole nother side for you. You're able to kind of play left or right. And I think that's just what this team is lacking. I don't think it comes down to any one player necessarily not performing or doing their job, but just I think it's a whole sense of urgency of we can't just keep on going down, one side, hoping for the best, whipping it in where the cross is and, the
but
players
they weren't whipping crosses for a lot of the last game.
But
that's the other thing then, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You kind of noticed it really came out on Monterey Bay on both sides of the pitch. The openness in the midfield when you're defending against Monterey Bay, inside their box, completely open, really not allowing so many of those second chances. And then, conversely for Phoenix Rising, when they're attacking, seems like no one's able to get on the end of that. Or I mean, it's just not that type of attacking intent that we've seen. So you got to be able to mix it up. I don't know exactly where that comes from. Again, I don't think it's any one player, but you just have to be a bit more, can't just be as one-dimensional, I'd say.
No, I'd agree.
A lot of uhs and whatnot going on outside. Well, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I mean, from your general kind of point of view,
come on, Max, stop asking me questions, man. You've been the one who's been out. I've been talking about this.
I've been out for a week.
Come on, you've been out for a week. You've missed. Come on, that's like a year in Rising Discourse.
Oh no, I mean,
come on, we've been through the whole roller coaster here. We've already got people whining on social media as they always do. I mean,
they're asking why you're incognito. No, I mean, it's like I told you, it's my kind of where I see things. Just it's. Rising just needs to be able to play a bit more in the midfield. I think again, it's not trying to use it as a cop-out, but I think out of all the guys they missed, yes, we could use a forward. Yes, replacing man, there's just a lot of March Madness screaming going on. Or maybe they're screaming for the Open. Maybe
they should be screaming for the Open Cup.
Maybe they're screaming for the Open Cup. Maybe they're screaming for the Open Cup. It's going to be difficult to replace guys like Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga. It's stuff that we said on this pod before. But I really think the big, key here, we saw a misplaced pass from Jose Andres Hernandez. We saw multiple misplaced passes from gumming out of the back line. Against Monterey Bay. Being able to have that safety outlet of a guy who's able to drop deep into the midfield, progress the ball, not just to the side, but really play forward into forward's feet, create some of those second runs. That's, I think, where this team is missing. There's too much of, it's a lot of predictability, is if you only know that you're going to be playing down the sideline, as a defense, you're able to kind of sit back and say, okay, we're not really troubled if I'm playing Phoenix Rising, we're not really troubled if you say, hey, come dribble at us. We don't think you're going to pass forward. It's really easy to defend. And conversely, you're able to play a bit higher of a line and you're able to counter pretty easily. Yeah, I think that's just the tough part of Rising needs to own the midfield. And that's really where I've seen a lot of those chances.
I mean, again, I'd also say if you're a team looking at playing against Phoenix Rising, what you saw in the last game is that if you press the midfield, they don't really know what to do with it. They're not going to find ways to make particularly aggressive balls forward. They're not going to find ways to cut through and slice through you. They're going to pass it backwards. And then what it ends up is that Rising get kind of stuck in the back there. And occasionally they'll slip up in the way that Jose Andres Hernandez is passed backwards, ultimately let Monterey Bay in for the goal that they scored. So if you're coming up against Phoenix Rising, to me, what you're going to do here, you're going to press them down that midfield and you're going to see what exactly that midfield duo are capable of doing.
And that just did, that I think was a very uncharacteristic mistake by Jose Andres Hernandez. And yet even whether he makes the mistake or not, even if he's playing, again, we said this last week, even if he's playing negative or not, the fact that, okay, cool, he may not turn the ball over, he may not make that mistake again, but the fact that he's not that's not necessarily who he is to make those progressive passes forward. It just puts you in a position where you have to win those one-on-one battles outside. And this just kind of becomes this endless loop of, can't play forward through the midfield, rely on the outside, try to win there. And just comes down to individual moments. And I'll say this team has the individual moments and being able to have their players rise to the occasion. It's just a really tough way to go throughout an entire season by only relying on that. And sooner or later, when you kind of look at the law of averages, when you get into the means of things, it's not going to hold up. You're going to get less favorable results than positive ones if you're only relying on individual brilliance and not being able to play more cohesively.
I would agree.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll see. There's a lot to preview. We'll preview a bit of this match, against Oakland Roots for this weekend. But first, let's talk about our friends at Circle K. Circle K, I like Circle K.
Do you, Max?
I do.
Max likes Circle K, everybody.
I do like Circle K. I was away, and I was really missing my Polar Pops. Not a lot of gas stations in general where I was.
You know what I'm going to say now,
say?
and this one brings us back on the Circle K. The last
Please.
time that Phoenix Rising won a game,
yeah.
And even then it was technically a draw and they advanced on
We
penalties.
did walk by Circle K.
I just the excitement coming off of this guy
It was an
on
omen.
the walk
It was an omen.
between the stadium and the hotel. You should have seen this guy's face light up.
It's the little things. It makes you feel like home. It's the Polar Pops that do me well. You guys save your gas. Save that 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 fills. Again, if you guys, what are you doing? Go to Circle K. Download the Inner Circle program. All you need is the phone number. Super easy. Get all that good stuff. That ice cold fountain drinks, those snacks, everything like that. Maybe bring some Circle K snacks to the pregame.
Maybe.
Make it a little bit easier for your tailgating before Saturday's match. Super easy. Download Circle K app, Inner Circle program. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details. Also, you can get it at Circle K. Our friends at Arizona Lottery. They got their Arizona Adventure program. Again, 3 super easy ways to play and win big. Number 1, play 3 iconic landscapes, Picacho Peak, Monument Valley, and Camelback Mountain. Tickets at prizes up to $50,000. Number 2, you can check in at geolocated adventures at 10 destinations across the state, from Flagstaff to Yuma. Again, we've done Hole in the Rock at Papago Park. It's super easy. And number 3, you feeling lucky? Are you? You're feeling Open Cup lucky and trying to string together some wins? Well, you can enter tickets online for a chance to win $1 million in Arizona cash and Arizona travel prizes.
You know what? Maybe I should do that. Given the way that my luck has been this past 24 hours, maybe I should
You can go watch Arizona Monsoon play with those winnings. Who, my gosh, they're winning. They are winning right now in the Open Cup.
Arizona Monsoon are winning.
Right in the middle of an Arizona lottery read. But hey, that's what you can do with your Arizona lottery money. You can do all these fun things in Arizona. Again, visit azadventure.com to go play, learn more information, how you have a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes.
Yeah, shout out to Arizona Monsoon, the goal scorer. Google doesn't know their name.
Yeah.
They're an unnamed player at this point, but they are winning away from home against Lubbock Matadors.
I need Brockton to score 2 goals for my parlay to have a chance. It's not going to happen. It's in the 90th minute.
It's not going to happen, mate. Also, didn't you have a South Carolina United draw? Because they just won on a 95th minute penalty.
well,
it's falling apart for Max again.
Should have cashed out when I had the chance, and man, that's a toughie. But hey, we can't. Unfortunately, it would be so easy to pour all of our hopes and dreams in Open Cup and really have that ride out the rest of the show. But I guess we have this match on Saturday to talk about.
Yeah, we do. But you know what? Let's pass it over to the man himself, Mr. Danny Stone, Phoenix Rising head coach, to talk about some of the keys looking ahead to this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think bravery and confidence on the ball is a big thing in this game, and I think we're well aware. I think collectively that we were perhaps uncharacteristically a little casual in possession at times during the Monterey game, so that'll be a focus to improve in that regard. As far as the intensity of their press and how they might look to set up, we'll see. We've seen Oakland play in different ways. Sometimes very different at home than they are away from home. And so this is a game where we'll very much have to, I think, prepare for more than one style and then assess the game early on as the game begins. And we'll be ready for that. And we've seen Oakland play a couple of times now this season, and You know, we've spoken as a staff obviously a lot over the weekend in preparation for this week of training as far as what we expect to see from them. But you use the word intensity. I use this word often myself as well. That in the game, especially at home this weekend, is going to be a real key factor. How much energy and life and intensity we bring to the performance, as well as improvement in a couple of areas that I've mentioned from a quality with the ball point of view. If we improve in those two areas, then I feel we look very different as a team, and that's a good start in terms of competing and combating any threat that Oakland might pose.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. This one, it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, it's like you says, it's building upon performances. It's trying to just trying to get people to rise to the occasion. By the way, quick aside, everyone in the chat, please rise to the occasion as well. Hit that like button. There's many of you here
keep us updated on the Open Cup as well.
Keep us
in the
updated
chat.
on Open Cup. This can't just be a one-way. Hit that like button. What are you guys doing? Twiddling your thumbs, just watching us blabber on. Hit that like button. No, I mean, a couple of things to look out for within this match, right? Shout out to Statlacky Reese providing, some some statistics on Oakland, right? Again, Oakland right now, they currently have 4 points from their previous two match, a 2-1 win against Indy 11 and a 1-1 draw versus Charleston Battery. Kind of within those two matches, nothing too overpowering. A combined, 1.5 XG created, about 6 shots on target combined within those two matches. They lost possession both of those matches. Even from a defending standpoint, conceded 16 combined chances within those two matches. That's all that being said, this is a team where they give opportunities, 12 shots on target conceded within those two matches. They're possibly leaky, so that is a way. That's kind of something for Rising.
Here's the thing. There's
a
lot of chances, a lot of shots are being created by their opponents. But look at the XG. Look at the actual underlying numbers there. They're not good shots. What this Oakland team does, is they don't really give you that many particularly good shots.
I mean, yeah, but
how many? Where are they up to? Tell me the numbers. You've got them in front of you.
When we're talking about a defensive standpoint, from those two games combined, over 2 combined XG total within those two matches.
XG between two games. How many shots? Like 40 shots. That's not much. That's a lot of low opportunity chances.
We saw against the
first match. That's a lot of low opportunity chances.
Against the first match, crazier things have happened.
They have, but
you can't score if you don't shoot.
But at the same time, Oakland are up to, what is it now, 7 games on the trot that they've scored in when you go back to last season? They score themselves.
I mean, you can't. It's also hard to use last season as a complete
Fine, they've
carryover.
scored in both games this season.
Okay, I mean, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you that they can. Okay, you need to be able to at least score 1 to have a chance at the result again. You're probably not going to hold them to nothing. That's a fair shout. What I'm saying is, if they're leaking chances, even if it's maybe not the highest quality, even if you're getting 1 XG per game, that's something. That's more. That's at least some sort of silver lining that Rising can take. Now, I don't know who the heck's going to take it, because again, going back to the disjointedness, but that does give you something. This isn't a team who, they're not letting you get a shot off or they're pressing aggressively. Seeing by just the numbers, it shows that they're willing to sit back. They'll give you outside the box. We've seen Rising take their chances here and there. I want to see more cohesive stuff. I want to see a bit more working, some interplay within the final third. But the fact that they're at least inviting teams in gives you something. Because here's the thing. Yes, they've scored in both their matches. They've also conceded in both their matches. Gives you something. It's not nothing.
No, I get that. Nothing. I get that. You're not wrong. And it does help Rising from the perspective of, are they going to get a chance in this game? Yes, I'd imagine they will get chances.
They've Oakland in both matches, they've heavily lost the possession battle. 40% possession in their first match, 33% possession in their second match. Again, possession, it could be empty calories. It doesn't mean it's necessarily everything, but Rising typically has thrived a bit when they have more possession, the last season aside, but that's typically what this team's model has been. They want to dominate the lion's share, pass you to death, and hopefully something happens. I am optimistic that you'll at least see hopefully a bit more shots. That's just it, though. What's it going to translate to? This team needs something that we just haven't seen yet this season.
Yeah, they do. They just need, I think, and again, right, the Birmingham Legion game, I thought I saw enough in that game that there were a few chances they left begging, they left them on the table, and you think, okay, fine, there's something you can build off of, there's something that you can, with a little bit better finishing or maybe creating just a couple more of those, you will ultimately get to a point whereby you score goals, you find a way to get results out. But when you look at that Monterey Bay game, the second half was all right, but the the first half was such a write-off that it was terrible. And Max is currently...
Are you kidding me? I was a 97th minute winner away from winning a grand?
Open Cup right now is going crazy.
Come on.
Sorry, Max, for those of you who don't know what happened, which is most people, Max lost his current parlay, which would have paid out $1,000 on the fact that South Carolina United got the winner in the 95th minute. If that hadn't happened, the other game, which he'd already given up on, Brockton coming back.
They scored two goals
in stoppage time to equalise. So he actually was that close to a grand.
I hate the Open Cup. I love the Open Cup. You cruel miss.
This is completely thrown us off now, but hey, this is great.
This is what the people want. Oh, gosh.
How much pain this man is right now.
This is so... sucks. Wait, let me just... You keep talking. Let me just confirm that I did play... That maybe I was wrong. Maybe I did have...
No, you didn't.
No, just let me be in denial. Let me be in denial. No. Come on.
I mean, look, there are still some familiar faces in there when you look at Oakland. There are going to be some people you recognize. Again, I just feel from Rising's perspective, it's going to be a question of
it was plus 22,000.
So much pain. This is great.
I bet $5 to win over a grand. A 97th minute winner.
They don't only win goalie man, but actually won a grand on a tenner this week. So.
Oh, this is horrible. Oh my gosh. I hate it here. You know what?
You good, Max?
I'll redeem myself. Well, you know what?
Tell me more about Oakland, Gordon. What do you think about him?
Oh my gosh.
But get your mind back off it.
Oh, God. You guess it's back to playing the AZ lottery. Can win there. I have one there actually. Oh gosh, Oakland roots. Yeah. You know, I think what's gonna take about this team is. You want to see a bit more. I want to see Rising take it to them, not just in the attacking sense of, okay, passing the ball around, getting that possession, but really being able to press higher up the pitch. I think we've seen when Rising is able to do that, put the teams under. They have the speed at the back to win in foot races. It's a dangerous game, but that's typically where if you're going to lose, I'd rather see you lose or not get points by playing a high line, going down, trying, and at least you're suffocating teams versus what we've seen. And the goals that Rising has given up is just sloppy play out of the back. Stuff that's pretty easily preventable if it's, hey, maybe you're able to take an extra touch and not try this risky pass out. Maybe it is, I'm not saying hoof it long, but like if you need to evade pressure, win the ball up, and then press forward. A lot of what's killed Rising has been just back-breaking mistakes. And that stuff is, you hope, down the course of things, that will even out and that should be easily fixable. I want to see them take the initiative and push higher, kind of suffocate teams and put them under. We'll see if they can do that. Again, against this Oakland team, they've invited teams in. They've kind of lost the field tilt in the two matches. That's your best chance, especially at home, going towards the south end, kind of, get that wind under you. Hopefully that's what's going to happen. I don't know if it does, but that's going to be your best chance, especially against a team like Oakland.
Yeah, I would agree. Look, it's still... I mean, I'm intrigued here. I'm not sure how many changes we're going to see. This man is still...
Literally all the scores held.
You know what's going to be funny when we look back and watch it afterwards, and if it was a dodgy penalty as well. Oh my God, what a night this would be. But no, I think, and I'm intrigued here. I'll hop in on one of the comments in here about starting Ryan Flood. I'm not sure whether you choose to or not right there, because I feel as though... presumably he replaces Gabby Torres? You'd play him out wide and not in the back, probably?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really as concerned of who you're going to rotate in and out of the wide players. I mean, again, like Rising's typically going to make one or two of those subs per match is almost a guarantee. You're not going to see a guy finish 90 minutes most of the time. No. And I'm not really concerned about that. Whether you start strong or you bring on your guy, who you want to see stronger in the match, I don't really care. I'm more concerned about where that's going to be fluid through the midfield, because you can't just rely on Panos. You can't just rely on your interplay through number 10s. Nope. Again, it's a full team effort, which, you have to rely on guys not just making the first run, which they're not even making the first run sometimes, but I want to see if you have the ball out wide, and like if we're being specific and tactical here, have someone running down, causing that overload on whatever side the ball is on. So let's say a Gardorito has that ball out wide. Not only having Panos run out and causing that overload, but then as the defense draws towards him, have a Fede Varela or whoever's playing that other number 10 position, sliding down as well, making that second run. Have the number 9 checking towards them and kind of creating that space, because then that opens up a bit of that overload. It opens up those 1-2s. It opens up those spaces playing in the box. That's just what we haven't seen from this team. And that's where you're able to create matchups. That's where you don't have to get into these, let someone be a hero, take on 2 guys, hope for a shot out wide. That's what we've been needing to see, and we just haven't seen that. And this is something where, again, it's getting with familiarity, with the spacing, with being more familiar with your teammates and in the system. But a lot of this is just kind of look around. If someone's not wanting or demanding the ball, someone's got to go do it.
No, I get that. I'm also going to say to Devin, again, stop with this Gallardo and Quasio stuff. Just stop with it, man. No.
He's got the kit.
I know.
He's got the
but
kit.
What? No, let's be real here. Let's be real here with it. Let's be real.
I think he's trying to also say Daniel James is the Welsh Gallardo.
No.
Yeah, no. Oh man. Here's the thing, Owen. We've been avoiding score updates until Rising gets a win.
Oh, we made predictions last week when you were out.
Okay, that's fair.
Because again, we said we weren't going to do score predictions until Rising lost the game, and they lost the first game.
So they lost.
So then we took it up, didn't we?
That's right.
That was the thing, because they'd gone through the playoffs and won every game when we weren't, making predictions. We thought we'd go with it. So
all right. Well, what are you? Chat, chime in as well.
1-0.
What are you predicting?
1-0. They're going to get a goal.
That sounds great. Yeah, 1-0.
It's going to be a 1-0.
You know, I think I'll even bet it. With our friends at BetMGM.
You're going to go with 1-0?
Yeah, I'll put some money on that.
You put some money on that. Maybe you'll put it on like this. It was an interesting penalty call, this one. We're going to have to talk about it.
I'm watching it back.
It was a really interesting penalty call. I didn't think there was a lot.
That was it!
That was the penalty.
That was it! Oh my
this
gosh.
man is losing his
shove in the back.
mind.
Make me lose out on over $1,000 on a little shove in the back. They don't even call that in Sunday League. Oh, that's some bull. Dude, are you kidding me?
It was a bit soft, to be fair. It was a little bit soft. You seen it, Reese? Yeah, Lackey's nodding. It's a bit soft, wasn't it, Reese? Yeah.
This is kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Well, we'll be back at it later with more bets. You know what's gonna help me out in this time of need is friends at OG's Brands. I can really use some OG's Brands to kind of mellow out, take the edge off me with an indica or a sweep edition. That way I can forget about this day. What a nice warm welcome back to the pod of losing money.
I'm just watching this penalty call on loop.
That is absolutely horrendous. It's not even, oh my gosh. OG's Brands, they can help you out. I'm not a doctor, but I can speak from personal experience that the stuff is darn good. And if I was it's
a lot better than this penalty call.
Yeah, no. If I was indulging in some OGs right now, I would be a lot calmer, a lot more chill, a lot more wise and keen to the situation. And again, it is Gummy Madness season. It's not just the US Open Cup. I guess there's this whole thing called March Madness. OGs is participating.
No, that's nonsense. It's US Open Cup.
But OGs is not nonsense. Follow along as 8 competing dispensaries put Gummy versus Gummy against each other each week in a bracket to determine the champion. You can vote for your Gummy, as the winner will receive a BOGO offer. Again, go to at OG's Brands. You can vote on the winner. Follow along to see who wins. They got divisions and everything. In East, you got the Mint, Zenleaf, and Sticky Saguaro. On the West, you got Jars, Ponderosa, Valley of the Sun, The Giving Tree, and AZ Organics. All different dispensaries where you can vote online at OG's Brands. Follow them on all socials. Do it there. You can get in on their gummies. Again, winner, whichever dispensary wins, that will have a BOGO offer attached to it all throughout March. Learn more about this. Again, go to OG's Brands on socials, or find them online at ogsbrands.com to find them at a local dispensary near you. You must be 21 years or older to enjoy Responsibly.
Rumor has it that the whole gummy madness thing, though, still at least because it's single elimination, it still follows the greatest cup competition, which is
It does.
the US Open Cup.
It is Open Cup, except when they
Exactly.
swindle you out of a freaking bet in the 95th
Max,
minute.
you can't strangle the microphone.
I will strangle the microphone.
You might feel like you can strangle the microphone, but you can't strangle the
Wish I
microphone.
could strangle a beer from Valley Taproom straight into my gullet. You can get a nice Four Peaks there. Get a nice Four Peaks beer. Get a Wow Wheat beer at Valley Taproom locations. I would absolutely love.
Max, when you bring in the bad birdie in?
Oh man, yeah. I need to. We got beer in the fridge. We got new beer in the fridge. Yeah,
You didn't bring it. Max is buying beers at Valley
Don't
Taproom.
shake your head at me.
Max is
Saying
buying
off camera.
beers at Valley Taproom.
I helped coordinate that.
Yeah, you did actually.
I did help coordinate that. Craig helped brought it in physically, but the people at Four Peaks, helped bring it in. So shout out Four Peaks. Shout out again our friends at Valley Taproom, where you can get Four Peaks on tap there. Go check them out. They have all the different great stuff, the wine, slushies, everything like that. Go check them out at their Gilbert and Queen Creek locations and follow them on socials at Valley Taproom. Oh man, stupid Open Cup. Stupid Open Cup.
Oh my God, my man is struggling right here.
I will not let it go. I don't listen. If you guys have been following the program for a while, I'm not what you maybe call a good bettor, but usually like 2 or 3 of the legs are missing, and it wasn't even close. That was heartbreaking. That is bull. And when you guys were like, when you guys were like, oh yeah, no big deal. They won in the 95th minute. No problem.
I think it's Open Cup bet winners circle here.
Don't
I
do
think
this
we should
to
have.
me.
Let's
Don't
bring
do
our
that.
guy in. Damon, did you win your Open Cup bet?
You know what? I just so happened to have won my Open Cup bet.
You know who else won his Open Cup bet?
You did, Owen.
I did as well. Now, do you think Max won his Open Cup bet?
I just want to say, actually...
Do you want to see the penalty call that led him to miss out on his Open Cup bet? This penalty call. That's what cost him $1,000. Look at this man's face.
Max, I just want to say, buddy, I know I make fun of you a lot, but this is where I draw the line. I don't make fun of another man's bets, and I really wish that you won, and that was heads would be rolling. If that happened to me.
By heads rolling, we mean that Damon would have probably thrown a chair at this point in frustration. And it's understandable, to be fair, but the Open Cup, we love the Open Cup, don't we?
I will say, I think this might be karma. It's not for the tattoo thing. This actually might be karma. No. Hear me out. This might be karma because I did win a bet. U.S. Jamaica draw in 90, and that did hit last minute. I only get one lucky thing a day, and that was my lucky thing. I should have saved it on this freaking Open Cup. Gosh darn it.
Oh man, that was yeah.
Because I got my money back at least by USA Jamaica drawing, but goodness gracious, I wanted more. You guys were telling me to cash out, and I was like, no, it's gonna ride till the end. And
we told you to cash out. You were so close to being that guy.
But again, here's the thing. If I would have cashed out and it actually would have hit...
wouldn't have been called, no.
No, it wouldn't have.
No, that's what makes it so good.
Again, I would rather lose out on $5 than lose out on $1,000. So at least I did the right thing by letting it ride. Yeah, no thumbs up. Owen, you want to take people through your Open Cup victory?
Yeah, it turns out that there are actually some really good odds to find on these games if you go looking for them.
They don't.
Namely, because there's not a lot of data on Division 3 clubs that haven't started play yet this season, and amateur teams that have practically entire turnover. And so you've got some good odds if you were betting on the Savannah Clovers to beat... I believe they Brave SC now, formerly the Villages. You'd get some good odds if you were betting on the Maryland Bobcats to beat West Chester United. There were some pretty good odds on that one as well. But it turns out that I also checked in Forward Madison and Spokane Velocity, who did it for me in the 97th minute yesterday. And so, I had to turn $10 into $1,000 with a nice
little odds. The worst part was, out of all of those, out of the 4-leg parlay that I put with our friends at BetMGM, the one that I lost on, it was plus 950 to draw. It was the highest odds, and I was so close. I almost had perfection. But no, the entire parlay was plus 22,000.
Can we shout out again? And I know a lot of people have been shouting them out. Let's shout out El Farolito.
Oh, gosh. That actually was pretty
El
epic.
Farolito, okay? And their supporters group. You know what their supporters group are called, don't you, Max?
I do, but I forget. Remind me.
Burrito Brava.
Yes.
Genuinely. There we go. You're liking that. I heard the laugh at that.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry. And then you'll
He's still struggling with this.
I wanted to at least lose 2 legs, man. Come on, not like this.
And not like that as well. Like, that was the most painful way.
95th minute.
95th minute, they took it away.
So what was your? Can you pull up the parlay that you ended up winning?
Well, I've just told you.
Can you say it one more time for the people?
It was
mainly for me.
Forward Madison.
Yes.
It was Savannah Clovers, Maryland Bobcats, and it was Spokane Velocity. And so those were 4 professional clubs.
Yep.
All playing amateur teams.
Yep.
You put $10 on it.
Yep.
I had a cheeky little 33% odds boost token to use on the parlay. And so it's paid out $1,052 in the end.
This is how heartbreaking mine was. Had four leg parlay. Union Omaha to win. They won like 3 or 4-0, like easy. Carolina, the Carolina the Core beat to win against Northern Virginia. This team was down twice in this match. They end up scoring. They come back to win. Okay, cool. That has it going for me. Chattanooga Red Wolves and Brockton FC to draw. Chattanooga's winning 2-0 in the 90th minute. They go down to 9 men.
Are they down to 9 men? Because it only shows 1 red card on...
they only... Okay, whatever. They go down to 10 men. Brockton scores 2 in stoppage time. They draw. Everything hits. And then Crown Legacy in Southern and South Carolina to draw. And they haven't been doing anything all match. They've done nothing. 0 offense. Freaking BS penalty. That's how it happens. I hate it here. I'm upset. Listen, everyone here, people are going to tell me to get over it, which is totally fair. I don't win many bets. I lose in heartbeat.
burrito.
No, I would have been. I would have been if I won that stupid bet, but I didn't. Eva, I appreciate you. I don't think I've seen your username on here, but yeah, this is pretty much the show. This is pretty much most pods. Okay, so we have 2
red cards, says Michael. It only shows 1 on all of the things I'm looking at here.
Go figure.
Including Opta, so I'm not sure where that's
We've
coming
opened up Cup Madness. We will be betting more, hopefully winning more for both of us. U.S. Berhalter? How do we feel about Berhalter, everyone in the chat?
You don't like Berhalter, do you, Max?
I mean, I like that he helped me win a bet, sort of, to somewhat redeem things, but I don't think many people in this chat like the Berhalter.
Yeah, chat about how you feel about Greg Berhalter. That'll make for some fun content. No, yeah, there was that. I mean, hey, the real stuff was happening over on the other side of the Atlantic, right? Was it not?
I mean, Owen, you are adorned in the kit. Why don't you tell the people?
Oh, yeah, about Wales beating, absolutely battering Finland with 4 different goal scorers to win 4-1. David Brooks, Nico Williams, Brennan Johnson, Dan James. Yeah. Again, Brazil had Zico. We got Nico.
Oh, nice. I guess you can say they were finished.
Right, end the show. No.
Oh, come on.
Other scores there as well. Poland, of course, with a big win over Estonia, who were reduced to 10 men relatively early on. 5-1 that one, although a couple of players, I think, went off with a bit of a knock this. We'll see how that goes. The League B playoff path here. Ukraine getting the win over Bosnia-Herzegovina and Iceland getting the win over Israel. So that sets up those 2 sides will play each other in the final of that particular pathway. And the League C pathway. Georgia beating 10-man Luxembourg 2-0 and Greece putting 5 on Kazakhstan. Those 2 sides, Georgia and Greece, will play each other. Also, all of those games, so Georgia, Greece, Ukraine, Iceland, and Wales, Poland on Tuesday, those will decide the final 3 places in UEFA Euro 2024.
Yep. By the way, Chad, I'm not seeing many comments with a score line for Saturday, so don't forget to drop those in.
Yeah, let's give some score predictions. Come on.
Yeah. What do we have to look forward to close this out on the week? Outside of course some rising content. What are we liking? Goodness, there's so many there's international friendlies out there. There
will be a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Anything you like?
Anything I like? Go on, I'll have a look back at the USL games, shall we? Let's have a look. Who do we like out of these? Loose City, Pittsburgh.
Racing 4-0 Oakland. Oh gosh, there's no faith there.
Reese, miserable. Charleston Battery are playing New Mexico United. I've been intrigued by New Mexico's new look this year. We'll see. Vegas Lights hosting an El Paso side that have struggled to find their footing early
Finally,
doors.
2-0 Rising. I mean, I like the optimism.
In the new look Cashman Field as well.
Okay, let's see. Michael 1-0 Rising. I like Kevin 2-1
Reese,
Rising.
was that a real game?
Yeah.
Hull played Curacao.
Yeah.
What?
That doesn't even
Why
matter.
did Hull play Curacao?
That
Yeah,
doesn't
they
even-
did. Curacao won 1-0 as well.
That doesn't even matter. The math doesn't even add up.
I don't get it.
I'm no topographer, but that don't make sense. What? Oh boy.
Why did Hull play Curacao in a friendly?
Isn't topography? Am I saying
That's
that?
like elevations.
No.
Yeah, it's very much
Is
like
that
the
not the same?
physical geography.
The
Not,
arrangement of the natural and
yeah, it's
artificial.
physical geography is topography. Yeah,
Topography.
yeah. What about like elevation and
Like whether it's bulbous or not. I got you.
come on, Simpson. Jeez.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Poor form. Hey,
We'll
when
get there.
are San Marino
Pipe
playing
down,
the
Lucky.
second game against St. Kitts? Is that on Sunday? Yeah, there we go. Can San Marino get a win? Because they didn't. They're playing on Sunday. You are correct. They're stat lucky off screen shouting that one at us. But San Marino couldn't get the win against St. Kitts and Nevis in their
I
friendly
love
they
the San
played.
Marino
They're
Twitter
playing
account because
each other again.
I love the Twitter account. It's a great follow. They did score first. The guy was losing himself. He said certain things happened. If you follow on the Twitter,
Worth remembering that San Marino haven't won a game since 2004. Can they win?
it's literally
against
it's amazing.
St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay, well, Sly in the chat, stone now. No. Okay, all right.
Nah. Oh yeah, and there's the that's the other one. There's the Virgin's Derby as well coming up. The US Virgin Islands are playing the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah, this is now just evolved into
Weird
slop.
international football stuff.
Into slop.
Yeah.
Uh,
We love it. It's
yeah,
great.
We do love it. Let's say we can always talk about slop.
You know what? There was another game as well today. Andorra 1, South Africa 1.
Man, we're really reaching.
We are really reaching
We're
into the
really
weird
reaching into the pockets on this one.
obscurities. But that's a weird game, that one.
Yeah.
Go on then, Max. Tell me, who have you got? Dominican Republic against Aruba.
I would say I want to go to Kokomo because that's in the Aruba, Jamaica. I want to take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Fontego.
There's some real shaking of the head off screen here.
Take it down to Kokomo. We'll get there fast and then we'll take it. What? No! I was like, what? We didn't even do the sign off. That's very fair.
It's a beautiful game. It's more beautiful when Max doesn't sing.
It is. That's a very fair point. Anything else we need to cover? Because we're now kind of just devolving into this.
We
point.
kind of are at this point. I think we'll leave it there.
This whole mess bet has really thrown me off, and your winning bet's kind of thrown you off. You're gonna crack a beer. That's a nice way to sign off. Well, please join us on Saturday. By the way, if you guys have some time before Saturday, a little later kickoff, before pre-gaming as well, come out to our tea party, Dobson Ranch. Watch the Suns game, grab some food, really fun, hit some golf balls, and then jet on over to Phoenix Rising Stadium. It's not that far. I'll be out there. It'll be a fun time. Again, check it out at gophnx.com under the events tab. Get a ticket and get some beers, get some food, hit some golf balls. All fun time. Hopefully we'll see a Phoenix team win that. Oh gosh. But until then, this has been another episode of the PHNX Rising podcast. You can find us, of course, at PHNX__rising because double the underscore.
Double the disappointment for Max once again when he goes to bed.
At least I got one win, but alas, it was not the one I coveted. You can follow me on Twitter at MaxDavidSimpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. You can follow Reese on Twitter at Reese11_. You can... Oh God, Kyle, yours is like Kyle in sports. Kyle Cooper Sports. Kyle Coop Sports. Yes.
K Coop Sports.
What's that again?
K Coop Sports.
K Coop Sports. I was close. You can follow Kyle behind the Mac at K Coop Sports. You can follow Shane on Twitter at Big Pokey. Shane Deef. You can follow him at Shane Deef. Yes. We'll see you guys on Saturday.
Hang on a minute. Just one last one in there is Devon. That's Alianza as in the Alianza, because if so, I'll take them over San Francisco FC.
Wow. Well, it's been a show. It's a beautiful game, but it's way more beautiful when you really just don't bet on Open Cup. You don't get your hopes up.
No, it's great when you
don't
bet on Open
get
Cup.
disappointed.
There's some really great bets to be had on Open Cup.
We'll catch you guys on Saturday. Good night.
We all city like the mayor.